Good afternoon, we are here with Designspeaking during Milan Design Week. I'm here with Gwenael Nicolas. Gwenael, how are you doing?
Bonjour, how are you?
I'm great. I mean, it's a crazy week, but I suppose it's beautiful weather.
Super hot.
But super hot. It's gonna rain, but whatever. I mean, it's great.
That's why we're middle of a jungle. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it and I love it. I mean, I really feel like, I don't know, in Amazonia.
A jungle in a palazzo, you know.
Definitely. A mix of everything. Yeah, I suppose Louis Vuitton was really one of the most interesting things to say this week, especially with this installation.
Wow, it's great to know that.
Yeah, well, there are a few places that used to this nature, philosophy and everything, but I must say this is really spectacular. So, I know you have been working already for Louis Vuitton. You designed houses and boutiques for them, right?
Yes, I designed a boutique in Tokyo and in London also with Selfridges, one boutique into the beautiful department store. So it's the first time actually I go on the other side, you know, designing product. So it's actually a totally different experience, you know.
Definitely. So what was the first thing you thought when they asked you to collaborate for Objet Nomade?
It's very challenging because I was so happy to do it, and it's like because you know Vuitton has a very interesting way of working with designer. They don't tell you what to do, you know. They say, do you know Louis Vuitton? Do you know Nomade? Okay, so what do you think about it? So you know, it's like when you work with people who know exactly what they want, they don't tell you what they want, you know. So you have to come with your own opinion, and you have to be very critical about things. And it's the idea how much you can stretch the concept of Louis Vuitton or a brand or whatever, okay? So as a designer, we try to go really far and to tell them this also could be Louis Vuitton in a way. And that's why it's very interesting. And on top of this, we have to bring one idea because it's never about redesigning things, you know. Especially for a brand which has a lot of heritage, the danger is sometimes to, okay, you go into the archive and everything, you find an idea and then you redesign it. They don't expect that. They expect you to have a new perspective, which in the future will inspire someone else. You know, we have to create new perspective. That's the idea.
And so you're creating also something that is totally different of what we have seen in the past. And what about, your project this year for Objet Nomade?
There's always what's interesting with Nomade is actually it's the design of an object itself, but also the design of time, because the object transforms from something to something else, from something which is not a furniture, which is not a lamp, which is something you carry, which the function disappear, and suddenly this appear. You know, so this transformation is very interesting, like a transformer. Okay, so you know you don't know where to start sometimes because you design with a final product, but how this will change to this, you know. So it's like between two extremes. It's a very fascinating process. You know, it's like designing two objects which has to combine into things. So you might like the final design, but it's ugly at the beginning. So and it doesn't work. So it's very, very difficult. But that's why it's really fun.
So how much have you been working on it?
2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's 2 years, and it's like sample, prototype and everything, because at the end of the day you have to find one simple idea, you know, and it's like you design idea, you make sketches, but at one point it's like fusion, all those come together into one shape, one something character, which wow, this is it, you know, this is moment of but before the moment is a lot of, you know, research and everything. I
can imagine a lot of brainstorming and researching with yourself. I have you also a team. You have your studio in Japan, right?
Absolutely. My studio is in Tokyo. I have 20 designers, mostly for interior design and everything, but we also do product and like watches, perfume, and these kind of things. And so I always have company of people come to see me and ask me things I've never done before, especially in Japan, you know.
Well, that's great.
It's like, really? Yeah, but it feels like the first job in your life, you know. It's like, can I do that? I don't know how to do that.
Well, you learn of everything, right?
Exactly. That's the point, you know. When someone comes and you say, you have to, what can I learn from that? Or what can I challenge myself in this project? You know, that's what's interesting. So it's still like, you know, what opportunity come up with this project?
So you're definitely a person that loves, learning about other cultures, learning about new things.
It's not only about culture, because you absorb culture. You know, and it's dangerous to be obsessed with. We don't work in fashion business. Example, in the fashion business, you need to inspire by style,
a lot of
color,
different
texture, and everything. Design is much more. It's much more the design of a moment, because you design something, and someone somewhere on the other side of the world will encounter this object. So you have to think about this second when people with a totally different culture will see your design, but still will connect with it. So if you try to design for everybody, it never works. It has to be very personal and very emotional.
So I mean, for example, if we take the example of Louis Vuitton, I suppose you have a common philosophy with them. I mean, you have been working already with them, and I suppose you will continue. What is this philosophy that you have in common?
You know, when we talk about craftsmanship and everything, and I think the concept of luxury is that two passionate people who actually meet. You know, you have someone who makes something beautiful because they love doing it, they have the know-how to do it. And on the other side, you have someone very curious, you know, and love beautiful things or things with some kind of vibration, you know. And at one point in a boutique, they meet, they encounter, and that moment this connection is created. And around this is many layers and everything, and different products and everything. But at the end of the day, this moment is very important. And you can see, like, I make boutique for like Berluti, you know, the shoes.
Definitely.
Really fantastic. And you see this.
Well, it's more for men, right?
It's totally for men. But you know, you imagine this guy. He takes beautiful, perfectly finished shoes in leather, and take a patina, and by hand, you know, create texture and very strong. When you see that, the courage he has to, in a way, destroy perfection to create a different kind of perfection. I mean, it's very emotional, you know. And Louis Vuitton is the same, you know. When you see the when you see the detail of making this, you know. I went to see the atelier and how they make very small leather goods product. And
I suppose you were totally amazed.
And I want to see this guy. I want this guy to make my product. And 6 months after, you go there and he's not making a bag. He's making your lamp. And yeah. What can you tell him? No, I don't like this. Can you do like this? You just shut up and look, and oh my God, this is beautiful. And you know, they take leather and with brush like this to the edge, and slightly red, and this color is like it's.
You were totally amazed. I can imagine. Yeah, it's a lot of history of craftsmanship. It's people that have a lot of qualities. I mean, they can work. But I mean, that's the same thing for you, I suppose. You're really good at what you're doing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So.
I guess so. Yeah.
I'm totally sure. So really, tell me more about it. I mean, I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing what is the second object. I mean, you told us that it was the two things that were combinating together, right?
Okay, so I imagine when I designed this, this was Ernest and Miller, okay? That's why I imagine...
From Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, exactly. So I wanted to create a scene, okay? I imagine this guy, you know, he goes to Africa and have a hard day in a very hot, like today, and he come into under his tent, and he opened his bag and take the small lamp, and open another bag which is round, and make his bed, and then relax on top of it. So that's how I imagine the scene, and then you have to design the product, okay? And that's
step by step.
Step by step, and find the idea. So you know. Vuitton did a long time ago a trunk that became a bed. So 50 years or 60 years ago, we used to have trunk, not anymore. And so I wanted to see how a bag, leather bag, could actually become a bed. You know, the geometry is different. So that's why I started with the circle, you know, because they all close like this.
That's crazy. I mean, I can't see it like it.
Here. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And this is how this, you know, change could become. When you see the product before and after, you
it has total different shape and effect.
I love when it's a surprise, you know. It's like when this is closed, because this is still a prototype. What is this? And you unlock the top, and you know it's jumping. It's like kids, you know. You have to use imagination and trigger curiosity.
That's amazing. Well, I was never into adventures. But I will definitely. Can you borrow it to me? I'm maybe going to Tanzania.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time, and it was a pleasure to meet you. Merci.
Merci, à bientôt.
À bientôt.